You know, you always thought that agriculture and food is the positive to America, to the world. I mean, we eat, don't we? What are we going to eat if all of a sudden agriculture goes away? Well, John Kerry and his buddies are now coming back out and stating, this agriculture thing is a bad move. We need to quit agriculture. Now think about what he's saying. He wants to cut the food supply. He said a third of the problems that we face with all our issues in the weather is all your food and agriculture. We need to figure out a new way. Also, Mr. Bill Gates has something along with that, and several big companies that would say that they're moving towards Trump and his policies, America first, but behind closed doors, they're still doing some shady stuff when it comes to our food. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to discuss Elon's schedule and kind of what he just said. I think you're fixing to see a $1 trillion man, and here's why. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's going to happen. We'll discuss that. And then we're going to tie in health insurance. You know, the one thing I cannot stand paying is health insurance at the price that we pay. We have it for our business, and I still don't partake in it. I'm going to tell you the alternative to what we truly need in America to fix our healthcare system. It's not more government intervention. It's actually less. It's more people intervention, and I'm going to blow your mind at what I'm doing, and I think you should be doing too. And then we're going to wrap it up about foreign lobby. You know, I laugh because we always hear that AIPAC and Israel is the problem. I'm going to give you a list of countries that are more lobbyists and lobbying more of your congressmen, way more than Israel. It's going to blow your mind. Let's dive into these stories today. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it either. But the bottom line is we want to talk about things that do affect you and your families. Well, this is kind of it. I mean, food, health, and control. I mean, that's kind of what we have to live for each and every day and pay for each and every day, correct? Well, let's go to what John Kerry just said. I think this is a huge story that no one's talking about. John Kerry just came out and said, agriculture contributes to about 33% of emissions across the world. We can't get to net zero. However, if we do, agriculture is front and center, and we must find a solution. You can't continue to both warm the planet while also expecting to feed it. Listen to that now. You can expect to fix the problems with this net zero, that we don't need any carbon, that we want to fix it all without getting rid of the way we feed it. It doesn't work. So we have to reduce emissions from the food system. Do we not understand the severity of this? This is a national security concern. Not the fact that foreign entities are buying into our land, not the fact that farms are getting closed down, the fact that we have people that are in power. I mean, this guy, remember, he's part of the Heinz Food Group because his wife is an heiress there. So they're a multi-hundreds of millions of dollar family, if not billion-dollar company, that's in the food industry, and they're basically telling you, we need to rethink food. You know what that means? Here's what this means. You know the freedom I have each and every day? I go out and I get my eggs. I go out, tomorrow I'm harvesting another hog. I actually have beef in my freezer that I just put up just a few weeks ago. Sheep the same way. I go out and I can pick my own crops. I have that freedom. So when the prices go up or down at Walmart, it may not affect me. Now, there's not a lot of people that can say they farm for everything. That's okay, but what you're actually doing now is saying, I want to make sure that all that independence from all those sources are not going to be allowed anymore. Let's keep on going on this same thing. This is from Mr. Gates. This is actually from one of Joe Rogan's shows. It says, Bill Gates has talked about this, putting particles in the sky to block the sun. See, you know, don't get me wrong. Anything that you're modifying with our weather is bad. But what we don't realize is the way that life is retained, the way oxygen is done, the way that trees are formed, the way that we have heat, we have cool, the way our earth works is with the sun. There's a whole lot of people on earth that just doesn't get it. Just because they have hundreds of billions of dollars, what makes them say that they have ultimate power? What I've realized is this has nothing to do with green energy. This has nothing to do with farm practices. Did you know that Bill Gates came out and stated that trees do nothing for the environment? He said there's no point in planting some trees. He said we need bigger ways of fixing the world. Now, remember, this world's been here a whole lot longer than Bill Gates. And for some reason, God is so awesome that He made this world and that He put the trees in there to absorb the carbon dioxide, put out energy. That's put out oxygen so we can live. If we've done this for so long, why should we change it? Or why do we think this billionaire knows the answer to that? I always have a huge problem with someone telling me that they can fix a problem that's been really the way we've lived for thousands upon thousands of years. Now, is technology good? Yes, there's parts of it that's very good, and we've been so innovative. But to say that now we're going to overstep, God the Father who made the earth and develop the way that oxygen works and the sun that actually heats it, it's like you see the sun coming out. It gives us life. It says they're buying all the farmland to shut them down to then turn around and put some kind of weird chemical-laced food on the shelves. It's not a game of green energy. It's not a game of saving the earth. It's a game of full control. And that's exactly what John Kerry is doing. One last story on our food. There is at least 6 or 7 companies now using crickets and insects to make flours. Listen to this company. I bet you know it. PepsiCo is looking to use cricket proteins in products for Cheetos, Quaker granola oats, and other products like that. Insect-related businesses in the Western world are producing insect proteins for foods, beverages, confectionaries, butters, oils, as well as spices and seasonings. So it mostly is going to show up. The thing is, the labeling will be so confusing to you that you won't actually know. Here's the scary thing. About 30% of the cricket farms looked at have parasites that actually are that carry disease for humans. The NIH says crickets show presence of arsenic, aluminum, cadmium, chromium, and mercury, things that we do not need. However, big businesses like John Kerry is telling you that we need to find a different way to rethink food. Bill Gates is telling you the sun is the problem. We need to cascade it to control the weather, to change the farms and the food and agriculture. But he won't grow trees, even though that's the way that we actually give back to the earth. And then lastly, you have even companies like PepsiCo, who is saying, we're looking at Cheetos, we're looking at Quaker Oats, we're looking at cereals, we're looking at different options that we can use cricket proteins more. The thing is, the studies they've done is actually harmful for you. 30% of all the ones that they've looked at has actually been very contaminant and could literally cause sickness for humans. This is where our food system's going. That's why I tell you to get on top of your food system each and every day. Last night we left, we got in from Birmingham from a Dude Perfect concert. And if you're watching our vlog channels, you know that. But we got in at like 3 o'clock. And last night it was like 9:30 or 10. Well, all the like good quality places to eat were closed coming out of Birmingham, Alabama, which is 4 hours away. So we're smart though. We proactively packed extra food. We proactively packed things that were healthier snacks. We proactively packed healthier drinks. And so the kids were just like, we understand we're not going to McDonald's. We're not going to Burger King. We're going to have to just eat what we have. So that's what we did. We ate what we had. We were proactive in thinking so we wouldn't have to eat the garbage that's in town that everybody else tells us is good that's actually harming us. Pay attention to your food system because you have the ultra-rich taking your freedom from your food. Now, before we go any further, a word from today's sponsor. You know the sponsor has been with us for a while. It's Chapter. Now, Chapter is a big deal because of why? Well, I saw how important it was when it comes to my parents getting older. If you're 65 or close to that age and you're about to be on Medicare or thinking about it or trying to have questions about it, Chapter needs to be your first call. Here's their number right here. It's on the screen. Chapter is an advisor for you. It's free to you. It costs you nothing. 15, 20, 30-minute call can save you, an average American saves $1,100. I told you the story, and I keep telling you this example because it's threadbare. I had a lady call in and said that she actually saved around $800. I had another lady call 2 weeks ago and say, or she emailed me, excuse me, and she said, Colby, I literally clicked on the link thinking it was just going to be kind of a farce. If it was going to help you, I was going to try to help you because I like your channel. She said I ended up saving over $1,200. Now that's a big deal. If you have the best plan, fine. You have the best plan, they'll tell you. But advisors that's going and looking all across the policies and plans all over America, they can help you. Everybody's trying to sell you this supplement, that supplement. Is this too much, this too less? Chapter has the answers. And it's free to you. So go check out Chapter today. Let them save you some money. And when you're getting older, saving money is a big deal. Check with Chapter today. If you're on Medicare, close to it, if you have questions about Medicare, they're the answer for you. Check with Chapter. I want to mention something about Elon, and I thought this was huge because it shows that unlike these other billionaires who are literally trying to take control of you, I'm not saying Elon's not. Please don't quote me on that. But for instance, like Jeff Bezos has cashed out a huge chunk of Amazon and has taken tons of hundreds of millions, almost $1 billion out of the market. And he's pretty much doing his own thing. Zuckerberg, same way, he's building a bunker. Altman's building a bunker. You see these other billionaires like Bill Gates is trying to be over you, Kerry family, PepsiCo, all that. Well, Elon just came out and they did an interview with him, and he is working right now 7 days a week at all his companies. It says he's back in the office, sleeping in the office, and trying to grind it out to build more technology. Now, work-life balance. Do I believe this is healthy or not? I mean, I work 7 days a week. I'm not to Elon's caliber by no means, but what I'm saying is, you know, I think you're going to see him be the first trillionaire. Here's why. There's a new report that showed that he built a town around SpaceX. I mean, it's a whole town there. And he's building the cars, he's doing all that. But what people don't realize is the technology for, cars like, for instance, these energy cars, these green cars, these battery operated cars, all those kind of cars, Teslas, things like that. All these companies that are building it, the crazy thing is they can build it and they can put a Chevrolet logo on, they can put Rivian, they can put Lucid, they can put, they can put Nissan, whatever they're putting. Most of them are having to use his technology for superchargers. Most of them are needing him to power their automobiles. You know, most solar situations that they're going on houses now, yes, they can build these big battery banks, but most of the ones that are actually seeing more success and less power usages are the ones that's tied to the Tesla super battery. The man is building robots now. You know, there was a time there was called the oil barons, the robber barons, you know, the ones like the Rockefellers and the Carnegies, and they basically had full control over the oil and the trains, so every mode of transportation came through them. You may have not liked it, but that's what happened. We're actually seeing that time now. Elon is building these restaurants and these convenience stores, and they're like Tesla factories and Tesla's convenience stores to where they're based on superchargers, and he has all the technology for that. And he's building restaurants with it to where people can then, as they're charging their car, they're going in to eat. This man is building the next capable, he will be the next trillionaire, or the only trillionaire. Now, again, is that much power necessary? Again, that can be scary to me because AI is coming along. And AI is becoming the main part of our life. There's a new study that showed that ChatGPT is making people dumber because people are not doing their own research anymore. I want you to listen to this from Cernovich. I thought this was a good point. He said the scariest thing about AI is that where does it align? Does it align with liberal ideologies? Does it align with conservative ideologies? Does it align with worldly, non-godly ideologies? He said, unless AI is aligned with Christianity, it will absolutely destroy humanity. Elon Musk came out, even as much as he's done, listen to what he said. This is huge. He said, at times, AI existential dread and the threat of it is overwhelming. This is from the man who is now probably going to be the absolute, not only richest man in the world, the first trillionaire, the one who's working 7 days a week with the most technological savvy countries, and truly being the 21st century oil baron, robber baron. Not only that, providing government contracts. Did you see that XAI, Grok, just got a $200 million contract with the Department of Defense? The purpose is this. AI is moving at a trajectory even faster than Elon can withstand. He's saying, even with me working like I'm doing alongside some of the biggest AI minds in the world, its existential threat and dread and the power it proposes will be dangerous. And like Stravana just says, if their thought pattern of AI and the people that are building AI does not have a Christian ideology and a American first freedom ideology, he said actually it will destroy humanity, not make it better. So I want us to not lose sight of that. Now, you could say Elon was trying to shady stuff. You can say that him and Trump were working crazy things out. You can say that he should be part of Trump's administration. There's a lot of things that Elon's done that's helped us, like freedom of speech, unlike most platforms. But when he is the richest tech billionaire in the world, that probably the trillionaire, is not only building things to surpass everybody, but to tell you that AI is dangerous, I think we need to listen. And when Cernovich said, look, If AI is not aligned with Christianity, what it will do is just destroy humanity because it does not see a value in humans. See, this whole world thing, that's why Bill Gates and all of them are trying to change the sun and all that, because they don't see the value of Christianity in a Christ-like way. They don't see the power of God. And so they all have God complexes, and I believe we're building AI as a God complex, which is actually absolutely scary to me, because where men are fallible, we're weak, we need energy, we need sleep, we need motivation, we need food. We're building something that has power like no other, and that scares me. Pay attention to this story. It's good to hear that Elon's building technology that can help us, but to me, sometimes when we're building all this technology, it's actually putting us in a prison of some sort. Now, the last two stories I want to hit on. One is on the lobbying in the U.S., and then we're going to hit on a personal story dealing with health insurance. The lobbying in the U.S., this is off a list from someone who shared on Twitter. It says, here are the top 10 foreign countries lobbying America. Now, what do you hear the most? Now, don't you think, what country do you hear the most that's our ally that shouldn't be, and that they're lobbying too much and our congressmen are bought out? Who do you hear? Israel, don't you? Don't you listen to this list? Top 10 lobbying countries over the last 10 years. China is number 1, 446 million. Japan, number 2, 387. Liberia, 353 million. South Korea, 303. Marshall Islands, 284 million. Saudi Arabia, 271. Qatar, 250 million. Bahamas, 239. UAE, 225. All those are a lot more. Israel's lobby, 188 million. Now, is that still ridiculous? It could be. But see, sometimes we lose focus on what truth is. We hear what people are telling us. We hear because they have a narrative behind them. Is there some crazy things going on with all these countries? I don't believe any country should be lobbying our government. Do you realize if I added all these up, you're over 3, 4, 5. You're over about, you're up, what, 10, 15 billion dollars from foreign countries giving money to us? You wonder why we're selling our foreign lands in New Hampshire and Colorado and Utah and Mississippi and Florida. You wonder why we're selling foreign lands, because my gosh, we have China giving us 446 million to all our elected officials, Japan giving us 387, Liberia 353, South Korea 303, Marshall Islands 284. Who is Marshall Islands, by the way? Saudi Arabia 271, Qatar 250, Bahamas 239, UAE 225, Israel 188. It's just crazy that the only one they talk about is Israel. And China is literally almost triple what Israel's lobby is. Pay attention. Things are not always what they seem. I thought that list was huge. And when all these congressmen said they're working for you, you're not paying them hundreds of millions of dollars, are you? You're not paying a lobbyist to lobby for you, are you? No, you're just an American voting with one vote. That's why I tell you, you need to vote with your dollars and get these people out of office, because what they're actually doing is working not for you. They're working for foreign governments. And then last story, let's wrap it up. There was a lady that was going on X, complaining about insurance. There was a family, and she said for a family of 4, we were paying around $3,500 a month, which is stupid. It just, taxes and insurance just kills me. But she says, then on top of that, I'm having to pay $9,000 out of pocket before they even coverage. Like your deductible. Here's where I want to challenge you. Don't look to government to fix this problem with insurance, because government can't fix it. That's why we talk about Chapter trying to help you with Medicare. Government can't fix healthcare. All these other countries that have government-funded healthcare, most of them are taxing their population 60 to 70%. Socialism. The answer is not businesses either when they can't work across state lines. Mississippi has one provider. One provider. Blue Cross, you know what? They rip people off day in and day out because there's no competition. So there should be competition across state lines. But let me tell you the real reason I want to bring this up. Now, I'm still paying a lot of money, but my company has Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't partake of it because, again, for my family, a family of 8, it was like $3 or $4 grand. You know what I did? I started learning how to do it different. I changed it. I made freedom happen. Why? Because what I did is I actually used Christian Care Ministry. Now, this is no ad, nothing like that. I'm just telling you what I do. It's MediShare. What we need to go back to is the roots of civilization. Who took care of the people when they were wounded and sick? The other people, their community. Well, what we do is we are part of MediShare and Christian Care. And there's tons of other Christian medical bill sharing companies. There's one, Samaritan's I don't know, I hate to do it. It's called Samaritan something. There's another one that's called a Christian insurance, and then the one that we have, of course, is Medicare. What they do is they say, we're going to pull all our money together and pay each other's bills for us. Now, my health insurance went from $3,500, $4,500 a month, or even with my company, $2,800, $2,900 a month, and I'm still paying around $900 to $1,000 a month. But that's for 8 people. That's still crazy expensive. But for a family of 2 or 3 or 4, it may not be that much. The one thing I love about this is they don't try to build you to push you towards medicines. They don't have pharmaceutical coverages, so they tell you how to work around that. They try to help you save money and try to be healthy. What they've done is taken the burden of health insurance and help other people. Everybody helps everybody. You work together, and it saves a tremendous amount of money. Now, if I'm ending this video in any way, I'm just telling you this. If you're buying your insurance, just check these companies out. It's a new way, a parallel way of actually doing insurance. I hate insurance, and if I can find other ways and other loopholes to not have to use insurances and tax benefits that the quote-unquote government does and helps us, then I do it. In Medicare, Christian Care Ministry, other Christian bill-sharing operations are in existence, and they're there to help you. I'm not paid by them. Look, I'm just telling you the truth. I think this is a good move. Now, you have to be a Christian. You have to be a professing Christ follower. But here's the benefit. It's the way it should be. People taking care of other people. So it saved me thousands a month, but ultimately what it did is it put the power and the freedom back in the hands of people. And there's tons of companies like that. They're coming alongside Christians. That's why when I tell you, like the CSAs with your food, buying from a local farm, helping co-op, buy from Azure Standard, and just now like with the insurance. We have to get out of the mentality that the answer is always government or big business. That's not the case. The answer is in the people. Be that person to be innovative, to find other ways, to have a parallel, to say, you know what, I know the status quo is this, I'm going to do this because I want the freedom. I know the status quo is go to Walmart because everybody buys at Walmart and shops at Walmart, but I believe I can buy from this farmer. I know the status quo is to go to this big insurance provider or buy dependent coverage from my employee because that's the only way to do it. No, there's Christian bill sharing. I'm just telling you this, if you want to find ways to do that, you have to learn to look and research some different opportunities. And insurance will rip you to pieces. And the best way to save is look at companies that are sharing your bills amongst millions instead of a company getting fat rich off of you. Kind of like the lobbying thing. When we realize that our government is actually getting funded by other players, hundreds of billions of dollars may be flowing in from other big players, then you realize it may not be looking out for you. These health insurances are the same way. They're paid for by pharmaceutical companies, by these big businesses, by subsidies of the government. What I've learned is I want to take it out of the hands of all that, put it in the hands of the people. Check out those kind of companies. I hope that helps. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video opens your eyes to the food system, health system, but more than that, understanding that sometimes the truth needs to be out there. And I hope that you are enjoying what I'm putting out. We thank you so much for watching. God bless.